So this year is the Nothing Phone 3, and this is supposed to be a flagship model from Nothing, but it lacks in a lot of flagship aspects. One thing that says flagship is probably the design, and that is also controversial, but other than that, it's pretty much a normal phone slapped with a big price tag of 799 US dollars or 80,000 INR. I bought it for myself with my own money, so no sugarcoating in this review. So, coming to the point, Nothing has done what Apple did a few weeks back. Created hype about something negative that gets them all the attention and get people to start speaking about them. Yes, they pulled a marketing stunt, or at least I think that's what it is. Looking at the back of the phone, they have the staggered triple camera setup, specifically the telescopic camera that is laid out a bit out of symmetry. But if you ask me, I like their effort with design, and being a product designer, they get my vote for this. They were able to keep that camera bump a little small by bringing the internals out, and as a result, camera had to be laid out in such a way. Well, that's what CarPi said. Rest of the exposed pieces of motherboard are a signature of Nothing at this point. All of this, but still no Snapdragon 8 Elite. They will stick with Snapdragon 8s Gen 4, which sits lower than the Elite, and they justify it by saying that we were able to keep the cost low with this and all of that jargon. But I mean, the cost is not low. Whatever. For 99% of people out there, this chip is more than adequate. From handling normal scrolling to some high end games, this chip can probably take it all and without overheating. They did remove the glyph lights from the back, and that is what they were famous for, right? But they introduced another screen, which is, by the way, a dot matrix, and they call it the glyph matrix. It can be a bit gimmicky, but it's an open API, so developers can do stuff with it. Other than some nice notification glyphs about calls and emails, I don't see using it for playing rock, paper, scissors at least. There's a small visible button inside the back to operate this glyph matrix, and you have to press it intentionally, not something that you can activate by mistake. There's also some haptic feedback on press, so you know that you have pressed it. A good thing. Moving to the front of the phone, the display is pretty neat. It comes with a screen protector out of the box, which initially I felt was a little rough, but over the time I think it has collected some oils and stuff from my skin, and now it's smooth. It's a 6.67 inch flexible AMOLED display with Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, and this glass also covers the exposed internals of the phone on the back. But again, 7i is not a flagship choice. Alright, so the screen protector is there from the factory, but it's not a good quality protector. I already have a few scratches on my phone screen just by keeping it upside down on the table. But thank God the protector was there, otherwise the screen would have taken some damage. As you can see, these are the scratches that I got, and they are pretty deep scratches as well. So yeah, it's there, but it's not good, so change it while you can, save yourself some money. Outdoor brightness of the screen is 1600 nits and peak brightness is 4500 nits. So looking at the screen in bright sunny outdoors might sometimes be a problem. Good thing is that the refresh rate is 120Hz, but would you know the difference? Now let's talk about the build quality of the phone. The frame itself is a high quality machined aluminum, which also is fingerprint resistant, unlike the current iPhone 16 Pro I use, which is a mess with fingerprints. But yes, it is a true flagship. Another mess right now is that 96.3% of my viewers are not subscribed to the YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, I'll be able to make more such videos and bring more exciting devices for you. So please hit the subscribe button down below. On the sides, you get all the usual buttons, etc. But this time we have a special button, which is kind of becoming a trend. Now this one is called an essential button, more like the action button in Apple iPhone, but doesn't operate the same. This one opens up a separate space where you can take screenshots, take notes, and it just separates all of these in a separate app called Essentials. It's like the screenshots app in Google Pixel, but better with AI integration for analysis of the screenshots, notes, and the audio recordings. And this is what I love about Nothing, the innovation. Remember to bring grocery and make sure that I am bringing ketchup in my grocery. can you remind me, and summarize that for my grocery list. So see how it creates a very little summary and all the things like items to remember, ketchup, and I want to remember this and this. This is my transcript, and it also created a to-do item for me right here. So I can just click here and I can see what the to-do item is. It's actually grocery shopping, so as I keep entering stuff, it will keep entering into this list, and then I can do whatever I want with this, or I can mark it as complete. I have always been a fan of the Nothing OS. It's clean, monochromatic, with subtle, clever pieces of functionality and no bloatware. This makes it a great user experience. They want people to use their phone less, and that's why they design a little boring monochromatic Nothing UI without labels and colors. But don't worry if you're not a fan. You can always switch back to the colorful UI and turn on the labels for your apps. Good for accessibility too. The search is also global. You can type in anything and it will perform a deep search on your phone to get you the information. Now let's talk about the main focus of this phone. They say that this phone has the Pro camera system, which I don't believe in. Yes, they are better than the previous phone 1 and 2, 50MP all round, and they perform pretty decent during the daytime. Just make sure that you switch from the 12MP option to the 50MP in your camera menu. I took some pictures with it to compare with the iPhone 16 Pro, and they are okay. This is not a great comparison because no matter how much they market this as a flagship Pro camera system, it is not, and there is no comparison to the iPhone's cameras. The tones feel a bit artificial and nighttime pictures are too soft for my liking. This camera can also shoot 4K 60fps videos and has optical image stabilization. Special edition is the recording light at the back though, again a design thing. This little red color light, it turns on while recording. Others can be aware of it, and if you are recording yourself, you can see if it is actually recording. It is very much like the Ray-Ban Metas here that I'm using nowadays. So nothing new for me, but a very subtle piece of art and design on the phone. The pictures and videos are saved in the native Nothing gallery. It is nothing special, but it is definitely something new. Overall, the phone is up to the mark for a regular user. I am working on a real day in the life video for later, but this was the review and first impressions. You will enjoy scrolling as you do on other phones, and using Nothing OS is always a delight. Cameras are great and performance is good for most users unless you're a hardcore gamer or professional filmmaker. And if you are, I don't know why you're getting a Nothing anyway. That is all the phone has to offer. If you have watched the video till here, subscribe, like, and I will see you next time with another day in the life video with the Nothing Phone 3. Till then, take care and bye bye.